forgot. My friend can't talk except through harmonica. I went to see David the Good. We listened to Portishead and drank spice rum. It was great. He threw me off the ramp and broke my foot, broke my wheelchair. All in good fun. True story. Hey, welcome back, everybody. Nice to see you all. As I am here with my friends Connie and Kevan. Connie is the girl. I'm
the boy.
So Kevan is the one that wrote the David the Good song along with a friend of his, and he sung and wrote that song originally. And I've talked about him before, and when people wonder, oh, did you write that song? No, I didn't write that song about myself because I'm just over the line into Gen X, and we don't do that sort of thing. But Kevan wrote it, and so it ended up, he had no idea. I mean, I didn't even think I had a YouTube channel when he wrote that song.
Mm-mm.
Probably not. And, he didn't know that it was going to become a gardening theme song.
I got home from visiting you and just was inspired. And it just poured out.
Just
naturally.
Right from your soul.
Really in like 5 minutes. And then I sent it to you. And then a couple of years later, here it was on the internet.
Yeah, that was it. And the number of children has continued to change. He originally put some of the amount of kids. I think he put my personal address and my social security number and some other stuff in there, so I had to edit it for everybody that keeps saying, can we get that song? I'm like, no, you can't get that song because there's that part about that thing. And so we haven't done that. But I put a link below this stream to the ministry that Kevan founded with some friends, and of course Connie is part of it as well. Connie and Kevan are brother and sister, and it's called We Carry Kevan, and so We Carry Kevan is the link below here. And if anybody gives any super chats today, they'll all get donated there too. So you can either go there and donate directly if you want to, or you can give super chats if that's easy for you. But Carolyn says, thank you for writing a wonderful song.
You're welcome.
So, first I figure Kevan wants to talk about gardening, but I wanted to ask, what is We Carry Kevan for those people who have no idea?
Yeah, that's a great question. One that I get asked a few times a day, and I still don't have a good answer, but I'll try my best. So 5 years ago, 6 years ago, something like that, some friends and I decided we wanted to go on a trip to Europe. And we wanted to see France, England, and Ireland. And we quickly realized that the places we wanted to go were not going to be wheelchair accessible. And what we decided was that the way to get around that was to not take my wheelchair and figure out a different way to get around. And so we kind of did some research, and we wanted to get a backpack for my friends to carry me in. And what we really needed as in a specific design didn't exist. So we took what did exist and we modified it to work for us. And we were also broke, and so we did a GoFundMe to raise money, and that really got some attention of other families, of kids with disabilities and adults too, asking really the main questions were, where did you get that backpack, and where did you get these friends? Because in the end, these 4 guys carried me on their back for 3 weeks around Europe. And we danced in the streets of Paris and hiked through the English countryside, and we scaled Skellig Michael, which is an island that used to be famous for having monks at the top, but now it's famous for having Luke Skywalker at the top.
Oh my gosh.
So we went for the former, and there were lightsabers there, which was kind of weird.
That's hilarious.
But anyways, yeah, so from there we decided we needed to start answering these people's questions about where did we get this backpack, and where did I get these amazing friends, and what does that look like? What does our life look like together to be able to pull something off like this? So we started We Carry Kevan, which is a nonprofit that is geared towards redefining accessibility by being more of a cooperative effort, meaning people helping people.
Right, as it should be.
Right, like
Yeah.
ramps and elevators and automatic doors are great, but they're not the end-all be-all. Even those things started at some point in history by someone saying, I want my friend to come over, how do I get him into my house?
Yeah.
So,
One sec.
yeah.
Can you guys hear okay? I just want to double check and make sure, otherwise we can move, I can move out of the way a little bit and let Kevan move closer. And I want to thank you guys. Thank you, Karen and Tina and Scott, for the super chats. What I'm going to do is, normally Google takes a little chunk out of all of these things. Actually, they take a pretty big chunk out of them. But I'm going to make sure that whatever you give on here, I'm just going to take it out of I will make sure that the whole amount goes to We Carry Kevan. So if you give, don't worry about the Google fees or whatever eating it up. I won't let them eat it up. So
Tell them where it's at.
yeah.
That's why they call him the good.
Yeah, right.
That's right.
It's remind me to be good. But if you guys let me know if you can hear okay. And our internet is a little flaky here, so hopefully this is all working okay.
Yeah.
Things are running a little bit slow. Are you seeing the stream okay?
Yeah,
Does it look good?
They said the audio's
Audio's good? Okay, so my chat is delayed. It's coming in things are coming in 2 minutes late, so
We'll get your comments tomorrow.
right. But yes, go for it. And thank you very much to Karen and Tina and Scott. God bless you guys. So, it being a collaborative, it's funny, the collaborative thing. I think that everything's about trying to be independent. And as we learned in 2020, where everybody's like, I wish I could just stay home and not have to deal with people all the time. And then after we did that for a couple of weeks, we started to get nuts. And I think probably a lot of people that would be dealing with disabilities would probably feel that way. Like, okay, great, I'm independent. I can go to the store. I can go up the ramp. But there really is, we should be depending on other people. We are dependent creatures. Like, if I didn't have my wife, or I didn't have my children, I didn't have my parents, I mean, we depend on our moms for our first years of life, and we depend on our dads to teach us this, and that, and the other thing, and our siblings when we're in tough times, and our friends, and if somebody literally has to carry you on their back, that's good for them.
Yeah.
And it's good for you.
Yeah.
We're not even normally that close to people. We're like, oh, hey, nice to meet you. Yeah, I'm gonna put my mask on. I don't want to get too close.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, it's a rich experience that benefits both parties, and because you have this new relationship that is unique to any other that you have, and it is funny that dependence has kind of become a dirty word, in our world, and independence is the savior, and it really should kind of be the other way around, but
they say, oh, he's codependent.
right.
It's like, well, I mean, we should be like I remember I would call my dad regularly, even as an adult, and say, Dad, what would you do if, say, for example, somebody called you and said you owed them $4,273, or they were going to break your knees, and maybe you made a few betting mistakes or something. What would you do in this? Just like hypothetically.
That's a specific number.
So you go, well. Dad said, well, and he would have an answer.
What was his answer? Never mind. We'll talk about that later.
I think he said, "Is this a secure line?" And I have
I'll
some
be
friends.
over in 5 minutes.
I'll be over in 5 minutes. So, Connie, when did you get involved? Because you're a writer.
I am.
Right? And you've written books.
Yes.
And well, I'll ask you where we can find your books. But how did you get involved helping Kevan? Did you get carried in the backpack?
I have not. Well, I have been carried in a backpack one time. Before Kevan actually got carried in a backpack. Very few people know that fact. I was carried up a fire tower in the middle of a state park in Indiana.
Oh my gosh.
And we saw the sun set, and it was beautiful. And that was the extent of it. Oh, well, no, that wasn't the extent of the adventure. The adventure was really the fact that the fire tower was surrounded by an 8-foot fence that was padlocked shut because we had gotten there after hours. So my friends who brought me decided that wasn't going to stop us, so they carried me over the fence.
Over an 8-foot.
Let it be known,
Fence.
everything I've done with a backpack is legal. Oh, except for the sewers and the Great Wall.
So I have gone in a backpack
Never
one
mind.
time. But I've been the support system ever since. But last year, my birthday's the end of April, and I was praying about a kind of a change in my life, and just said, God, I really don't know what you want me to do, so could you have somebody offer me a job? And a few days later, Kevan was at our house, and he said, hey, I have a question for you. Would you like to have a job with We Carry Kevan? And I asked him what the position would be. And he said he really wanted someone who could be kind of over family engagement. He said, we really don't want this to just be about giving out backpacks. We want this to be about relationship and connection and really seeing and knowing people and caring for them on a deeper level and providing support on a deeper level. And wanted someone who could make sure that was happening in a very intentional way. So God answered my prayer, and it was through Kevan. So I've been on stuff since the beginning of June last year. And it's been so exciting to get to hear stories and talk to families and visit families. And I think my very favorite part of my job is when families send me pictures of their kids. Oh my goodness.
Yes,
They're
and I got
like-
to see a few of the pictures because my sister is also working with We Carry Kevan, and she sent us some pictures on the phone of this girl being carried by her dad, and just walking down the sidewalk, and she's got this huge grin on her face. Now this is a gal that's 15 years old, nonverbal, and she's just got this huge grin on her face. I was like, this is awesome. And what they're doing, the reason they ended up at my house was because they were traveling around to visit different families that they had gotten these mobility backpacks to, and the ice and everything shut down I-10. They were supposed to be doing a Texas tour, and as we know, Texans have been having a lot of trouble lately, and they got stalled out. And I find out that my sister is with them here in Alabama, and I said, what are you doing? Like, why don't you come to my house? And so I said, look, I'm an influencer. You guys have to stop at my. I just really wanted to see them, but like I had to come up with an excuse, I told my sister, I'm not going to be your brother anymore. Your friends are horrible. It's a terrible ministry, and that kind of thing. Just to kind of, I have a gift of encouragement, right? Yeah, I got the gift of encouragement from my mom. She's a well-known encourager, in a different way, but anyhow, so you ended up at my house. And I've known Connie and Kevan since we were all young
Babies.
children. Like I remember when Kevan was born.
Yeah.
And I'm only a few years older than Kevan. But yeah, and I saw Kevan's wedding this year, or the end of last year, middle of last year, was it?
September.
Yeah.
Whenever that was.
Which was unbelievable. I was like, man. So we have tons of history, and Connie and Kevan have been like a dynamic duo for years. Anywhere one of them was, often the other one was around somewhere. They would go to different places and then always come back to each other, you know, and because they have a serious shared experience, and their parents raised them both just amazingly, and we were friends. Their dad and my dad were both elders in the same church, and then they moved away, you know, further north to the frozen north, and but we always have kind of been back in touch, and Kevin and I have recorded a lot of subpar music together, mostly because we tend to do it in about 5 minutes. But and then you know, Connie, where could we find your writing?
I'm not sure.
Are you still
Amazon?
Amazon.
So if we look for
Connie Chandler.
Connie
CL
Chandler.
CL Chandler.
CL Chandler on Amazon.
Yes.
It's the one,
Things
the
out there.
books with the spaceships on the
No.
covers. Yeah,
Connie wrote a
the Bigfoot saga.
Yeah. Connie wrote an ESL curriculum that is Bible based.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, based on Genesis. It's pretty remarkable. So check it out.
So we've got, I want to thank you guys here. Carolyn has sent a super chat. Thank you very much. Scott sent a super chat. Thank you. Bruce and Bear, thank you very much. I'm glad you guys are here.
Yeah,
Yes,
awesome.
Alan says hello to your sister. YamFit1? Yes, that's right. Hey, Ray Boss Farm, nice to see you. I hope you're surviving over there in Texas. All right. Drew's Food Forest and Edible Landscaping says, kind of like the Food Forest model where everything in the garden works together.
Yes.
Exactly.
Drew,
I
he also
knew
says,
it.
theme for 2021 is Collaboration Nation.
Yes.
Hey, that works.
That's
It
cool.
works.
Yeah, it does. I knew we'd get to the gardening.
We gotta get to the gardening eventually. So I may later this year go to Kevin's house and plant fruit trees, build gardens, which would be kind of fun.
Yeah.
Have you told them about the accessible tree thing?
No, not really. It's
Are you
funny.
holding on to that for...
No, we can talk now.
Yeah, yeah.
So, A Fishes and Loaves Live says, all these writers in one room, do you compare Amazon rankings? No, we want to stay friends.
That's right.
David would blow us all out of the water.
Yeah, so I was talking with Connie earlier. Ramboth Farm says send firewood to Texas there.
yeah.
Scott says, is this the sister we helped build a compost bed or lasagna garden? That was your sister, I think. Yes, no, that was my sister Rachel. I have 5 sisters. So that was my one of my other sisters. My other sister. Yeah, I was talking with Connie earlier because you know, she's like, finally, let's talk about something meaningful and stuff, and I was like, no, let's talk about gardening. And
That's not true.
so we were talking about I was telling her how I like to prune fruit trees so they can actually be reached, which is, you know, for me or for any normal sized person, you say somebody between 4 feet and 7 feet. If your fruit tree gets to 20 feet tall, you can't reach it. And I've talked to you guys a lot about like how you can get a fruit tree and make your fruit tree do what you want it to do, so you don't lose a lot of fruits. Like you can keep a mango really short. You can tie a lemon tree against a wall. You can run an apple tree on wires sideways. And I was talking about the grocery row gardens and how they're going to be accessible, and I always pictured it as somebody pushing a shopping cart down and picking within reach. And then I thought, that's actually perfect for a wheelchair accessible space because it's a row. How wide is the wheelbase of a standard wheelchair maybe?
About 2 feet.
It's about 2 feet. So the pathways are 3 feet in that system, so there's a little bit of wiggle room on either side. And then the beds are 4 feet, so you can reach, if you can reach 2 feet, you can hit the trunk of the tree. But a lot of those fruits and things are going to be right there at the edges. And I was thinking this system of doing things in rows and making it so you can reach it at an accessible height would be absolutely perfect the perfect way to create a food forest type system that is actually accessible for somebody that has any kind of disabilities where they can't necessarily stand up. You know, I don't want to, particularly as I get older, I don't want to have to climb up a tree that's 20 feet tall and knock things down with a stick. We did that all the time in the Caribbean because the trees get so far out of reach that even, you know, a person with all four working limbs is putting themselves in like risk to go and pick the tree. Or you have to get this huge pole that's like 40 feet long and try to hook things down and yank them. So if you have all of your trees and you're keeping your trees at like 4 foot and bending them sideways, 5 feet tops maybe. So think like grapevine trellis type levels, and you've got your trees accessible like that. Somebody in a wheelchair could easily just go along and go pick, right down the road. So it's like, oh, I was picturing a shopping cart, obviously, because my perspective is like, oh, what would I do? But I didn't even think it until I was talking to Connie. I was like, you know, this system is actually perfect
I feel like
to reach.
I feel like I would hook a basket on the side of my chair, and so that I don't even have to grip them. I can just knock them into it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Or go with 2 swords behind your back and just
Right,
like
yeah.
to knock
Just have a cane sticking out, and just as I drive by, it just knocks them all.
Have you ever
off
seen
the way.
those tractors or the mechanical harvesters
Yeah.
that just
Yeah,
right
that's
down the
what I'm
sides?
thinking. Yeah.
Your dad could design it.
Yeah. Perfect.
Easily.
Yeah.
Kevin's dad is an engineer, so a lot of the backpack design, a lot of the accessibility stuff, he had a unique chance to use his skills for his own children, which is something that's just incredible.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to say again, this is Connie and Kevan. For those of you who are just showing up, they're with WeCarryKevan.com. They are friends of mine since our infancy. We've been friends forever. And when I was a kid, every time I would go to bed at night, I would pray for both of them, and that the Lord would protect them and keep them safe. And here they are, you know, years later.
It's all because of you.
No, it's because of God, not me. Oh gosh. But anyhow, I put the link to their website below so you can see what they do. We Carry Kevan provides mobility backpacks. So if you've got a friend and you cannot go walking to a non-accessible place like a lot of Europe. It started in Europe, where when you have these towns that could be built 1,000 years ago or more, the streets are not good for wheelchairs, the steps, all of these things that we think, oh gosh, I would love to see the sights of Scotland, or I would love to see London or whatever else. A lot of these places are difficult to get through. And the backpack system works where you've got a friend that wants to get fit and they want to do an active service. They could actually put you on their back and carry you through, and it's got the full strapping systems. And they're even working on like being able to put a ventilator underneath for somebody that has breathing issues. There are pockets on there if somebody needs to carry medications, water, and all kinds of things. It's really they're pretty incredible backpacks. So what they do is they provide these backpacks to families so they can carry their kids into places where a wheelchair simply can't go. So any donations that come in super chats today, whatever they are, I'm not taking out Google's portion of it. The entire amount of the super chat will go to their ministry here. So, and there's also a link below if you want to see what they do too.
You know, Dave, I was going to tell you, like, Kevan used the backpack to travel Europe and China and these, you know, pretty incredible places. But we've noticed that the families who want the backpacks, so many of them, it's just so that they can spend time with their kids, you know? Parents who love to go camping or hiking in the woods or in the mountains or whatever, you know, it's like those are places wheelchairs can't go, so there's always had to be
We can't take you there.
one of them staying behind with the one in the chair. And now the entire family can go on these trips together, which is so beautiful and so powerful for us to see that. Like, didn't even realize at the time when Kevan did his trips what a pro-family thing this was going to become. But it really has given so many families the opportunity to be together and to go on adventures together, have experiences together. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's one of the very first backpacks we got to give away was to a family who the dad just loved camping and hiking, and he had
Yeah.
his son that he couldn't do that with, and so having the backpack, they could have these father-son moments that they otherwise wouldn't have been able to have. So that's really cool to see. We've also, yeah, we love seeing the family unit all adventure together, and whether it's hiking in Russia or going to the zoo in Fort
Yeah.
Wayne, like it's all across the board. And then we even have some we heard from one family that they a lot of families love the backpack for fun, but this family said we can't, wherever they live, we can't afford to get a taxi to get my son in his wheelchair to the doctor. We can only afford a bus fare, and the buses aren't wheelchair accessible.
Wow.
So having this backpack, we can take him to the doctor. Like, so you even have the practical aspect there.
And this is overseas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What you've been working not just in the United States. I know you're touring around and visiting a lot of people in the United States right now.
Yeah.
That you've been, these families that you've given the backpacks to, but you're in other countries.
Yeah. As of now, so we started distributing a backpack about a year and a half ago, and as of now we have about 400 in over 20 countries. Yeah, and they just
That's
keep
cool.
going.
We
So.
just are shipping our first backpacks to Romania and Hungary.
Oh,
So
cool.
pretty awesome.
So recent, I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
so.
just this week. That was just this week.
That's why your sister does it.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we hired her.
Well, it's funny because I remember when I was a kid, when we would go on family vacation, we would go see things like we went to Little Switzerland in North Carolina in the Spruce Pine area, and we go get ice cream, and it's all hilly. It's all up and down there, and there's an old bookstore, but there's steps all the way to the top of the bookstore, and there's all these different sections. And thinking about it now, I think of all those times, I would have had to have stayed in the parking lot and eaten ice cream, like we would always go and eat ice cream, but I wouldn't have been able to go up into the bookstore easily without, being, I don't know how you do it. And then we would hike, we hiked on Roan Mountain and Grandfather Mountain, and my dad was in good shape, and he would have very happily carried. He often carried babies on his back. He often had one of the toddlers was carried, and we would go hiking as our family. My mom and dad and 7 kids, but the Lord hadn't given us any children that couldn't do that. But I could imagine if you were that one kid who couldn't go on the, go on the trip. We saw the rhododendrons in bloom on the mountain, and the entire mountain was purple. And it was just that they have a big rhododendron festival up there, and there's wild rhododendrons. The whole mountain, just literally purple mountain's majesty. And I would have had to see it from pictures if I couldn't have, if I couldn't have walked up there. But my dad would have happily carried any kid. It's just one of those things that you don't think about until you put yourself in somebody else's position. That is cool.
So giving that opportunity is what we're all about, and not just you get to see that, but you would get to see that with your family, and so it's an experience that is good for the soul, because of the people you're doing it with.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to take a couple of questions here. I'm going to look. Let's see. Scott Head says, I've seen step over apple hedges. Those are the really, really low ones, like 2 feet tall. So we go for that sort of a thing, but if you were doing it, if you were doing it at about 4 feet, probably 4 feet would be just about right for wheelchair accessible. Let's see here. Yeah, dwarf fruit trees. Dwarf fruit trees are a possibility too.
What are dwarf fruit trees?
Dwarf fruit trees, they have a rootstock on them that actually reduces the vitality of the tree over it, so it makes it like they'll graft onto a tree that has a very limited rootstock, and it will cause the top of the tree to not get nearly as big as a standard one would. So they take a piece and they stick it on, and it might be 6 to 8 foot tall. They still can get a little tall, but
More manageable.
Careful, espalier is close to the Z word. Does it? You think so? The Z word is zucchini. We don't talk about that.
We don't talk
It's-
about
yeah,
Think of
no.
this.
We do talk about
Don't
yams,
say it,
though,
so-
right?
Natasha says this is awesome. Mama Wood says, yikes, cobblestones is all I could think of in a wheelchair. That would be awful.
Yeah.
That is.
Have
Yeah.
you done cobblestones in a wheelchair?
Oof.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, we grew up right down the road from Old Salem. I mean, it's
Yeah.
cobblestone city.
It's
so.
not fun.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Fishes and Loves Life, she says, this is wonderful. I would like one just to keep my autistic son close in crowds like I used to when he was
Yeah.
much smaller.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Rehoboth Farm says, who makes their backpacks?
Yeah, it's a company called Deuter, which is Deuter. They're a German company, and they have a U.S. branch here in Colorado. They're awesome.
That is.
Been making backpacks for 100 years,
And so, did you just go to them and say, look, we want to do this thing, or did you make a prototype for you to go travel with, or did you take something and modify it?
So we went to REI one night and tested out all the different child carriers, and one of theirs was the Kid Comfort 2, I think, was the closest. Like, we felt like it was a good base to work off of, and then we would modify the seat, and we would add neck support and all different kinds of support that I would need, but it was a frame that we could work with. And I was over the weight limit, so we contacted their headquarters and said, hey, we wanna break the rules. How can we do that well? And so they were really great from the beginning to walk with us through that. So we did the modifications ourselves with my dad and a few other friends, and Deuter was great to talk it out with us along the way. And then when we got back from the trip, we contacted them and said, we made this in our kitchen. Could we work with you to develop it professionally? And so they did that over the course of about 2 years. They would make a prototype, send it to me, I'd test it out, we'd do some Skype calls and make adjustments.
Wow.
And just keep doing that.
Good for them.
Yeah, and then so we are actually working right now on the second iteration of that.
So, you're a harmonica player.
I claim to be.
There's probably a limited set of instruments that you could play. I remember you did play auto harp.
I
And then
did.
moved to harmonica.
Yeah, because my arms got not auto harpish anymore.
Yeah.
So
So the harmonica is nice.
it is.
It's a nice fill-in. It's the campfire classic.
Yeah.
We should
And
do
the prison classic.
prison classic. I'm just gonna go with this.
Okay.
And we'll sing about Connie.
Okay.
Aw.
You don't want to make it more funky.
I say that and then I get worried.
There it is.
Who's that girl who's rolling by? This could be too much. This could
Yeah,
easily get to
that'd
be
be
too
great.
much too fast.
That's okay.
My wife has left. I got Connie by my side. No, that's just too much.
That's
It's really
too
too much. The funk is too much. It's,
So we're gonna go campfire. Why don't you sing about the kids? The kids in the backpacks.
oh, there we
Oh,
go.
there we go.
Kids in the backpacks. Let's see.
Hey, do you think there's a backpack for my aunt?
Yam pack!
Yam pack.
Yam pack. There's your song.
That's it.
That's it for this one.
I've seen all kinds of backpacks. Military backpacks. Ooh. Filled with all kinds of freeze-dried food. Just don't eat the candy, dude. I've seen a backpack filled with medical supplies. I've seen a bug-out bag for when times get crazy. I've seen backpacks for camping with those cheap little compasses that never seem to work. But you wouldn't use them anyway, 'cause that's what phones are for. And now I've seen a backpack to carry an adult human to all the kind of places that they've never been. 'Cause cobblestones ain't so good on wheels. And you definitely don't want to scale an 8-foot fence unless you got claws in front of those wheels that could grab into that fence and pull you up. But that sounds dangerous and it presents some problems from an engineering standpoint. And rocket boosters are so very expensive, and they could light your hair on fire, and you don't want your hair to get lit on fire when you're going up over a fence at the top of an electrical tower. Illegally.
And they send you to the moon.
Send you to the moon with a backpack. I wonder, provided we ever went to the moon,
Maybe.
we're still not sure.
Could be.
But if we did, we could do it with people on our backs now. Somebody call Elon Musk. 'Cause I'm thinking a spaceman backpack has gotta be a must. We've gotta have those backpacks for every kind of thing. Every kind of thing. Maybe we could get a backpack for a seagull. Maybe we could get a backpack for a beagle.
Put on a bagel.
But if you get a backpack, don't use it for anything illegal, baby. Trespassing with a backpack is highly discouraged and violates our terms and conditions.
Connie.
Connie.
Don't try and set up.
Backpack for a bagel.
Complete with cream cheese.
Backpack for a bagel with a cream cheese holder. And for those who are not offended, maybe some lox.
Ooh.
Nova salmon. Some people don't like Nova salmon, but I love it even though it's raw. Because I had this Jewish friend and she introduced me to it and I was like, whoa, this is great. And I'm very culturally sensitive. But what the world is asking now, they're saying, David the Good, where can I keep all my yams?
Rare, David.
Is there a backpack I can fill with yams?
Tell us. There's gotta
A
be.
yam pack. Well, once we deal with every person in the world that needs a backpack, then we'll work on the equally important task of housing Dioscorea alata species. That's the Latin name for a true yam. All right.
Oh, yeah.
So that will be on the new album.
Called?
So I want to bagels and logs. All right, I'm going to answer some more questions here. Crazed Family Homestead says, I want to make mock apple butter with the Z word and mail it to David the Good. You're going to get banned. I'll ban you. See what we got. Redboss Farm says, glad to hear they have good company behind them. Yeah, I love that sort of thing. Natasha asks, are you all in touch with special books by special kids? It focuses on kids and adults with special needs. YouTube attacked them, but maybe y'all could collaborate about the packs.
That probably means they're great. So.
Yeah, I don't know. Have you heard of them?
We've not, and by we I mean I.
We'll look them up.
Yeah.
Natasha says they have a
send us
ton of
link.
subs, so.
Yeah. That'd be fun.
Bonnie Blue 2A says, Super Chat has me locked out. We'll try to donate for the backpack ministry another day. Cool. I will leave this stream up, and there will be a link underneath it.
Thanks.
Raybot Farm says, David's starting a new band. Jesse asks, why would you push him off the porch?
That's an excellent question.
You pushed me off the porch.
Remember? And broke your wheelchair.
Oh,
broke
right.
Your foot.
So
yeah.
it's a true story, but kind of a squiffy true story.
It was exaggerated.
Exaggerated, as many stories are. Yeah.
When you tell them.
I,
Not me. I don't exaggerate.
Of course.
No, but
Never. It broke in the modern sense.
there's a nuance to the word broke. The wheelchair felt sad. The foot felt sad. Well,
Yeah.
I had
the
a
sole of my foot.
yes. So
Yeah, the
I was living in this little cottage that was built in the 1950s, and there were steps on the front, and we could not. I had gotten some boards or something to put up as a ramp, but it was not a proper ramp, and the wheelchair weighed like 400 pounds or something. So me and a friend were trying to get Kevin up this thing, and we kind of like threw him off the ramp a little bit, and then we listened to Portishead. Drank spiced rum to help the foot feel better, I guess.
We also watched Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Yes, and we watched Mystery Science Theater. So, and of course we recorded a bunch of music.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's the story. It was a failure of engineering because I'm not an engineer.
All right.
Sorry, I can't do anything about the audio maxing out. I imagine it would max the speakers, but.
Mm-hmm. His rock and roll, just it's too much.
A yam packed full of yams. That's like very meta, Rehoboth Farm. I filled my yam full of yams. I stuffed the yam. Did you ever see it where they take one animal and they stuff another animal, like they roast?
Turducken?
Turducken, that's it.
Yeah.
And it's like a turkey with a duck and a chicken.
Inhumane.
But I don't know if they make them eat each other and then they roast it, or if it's post.
I think it's post.
Probably post. It would make sense to do it post because it's like the foie gras thing. It's kind of it's cruel. Thank you very much. Fishes and Loaves Life sends a super chat.
Thanks.
Much appreciated. Carolyn says we have 2 handicap accessible playgrounds here in Gainesville. One is at my church, Trinity United Methodist Church. I'm going to send them this website link. People would love this.
Sweet.
Okay, awesome.
Nice.
Thank you.
Alan appreciates the sister cameo.
So do we.
Thanks.
A couple of people are saying the super chat is blocked, but Bonnie Blue Second Amendment sends a $99.99 donation. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's amazing.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
So, like I said before, don't worry about the Google cut coming out of it. I will take the Google cut and not worry about that, and I will give the entire amount. So if you give $100 or whatever, that is all going to We Carry Kevan, because this is something that I believe in and something that I have given to, and it opened my eyes to a lot of what I have and what people deal with that I have no idea about, and I wouldn't have any idea about if I hadn't had Kevan for my best friend for ages and ages, and his sister is okay too. So I love Connie too. I just don't get to hang out with her as much. But this will go whatever. If you decide to give through super chats, the whole thing, I will make sure that they get. Gardner Earth Guy says, would you consider a drummer that used jugs of Grazon? No. If you use jugs of Grazon is almost as bad as the Z word.
Wow.
That's a toxin that they spray on hay fields.
Oh.
But it's funny. Javier says, I know the best people. I have been blessed. Thank you, Bonnie Blue, Second Amendment. You didn't like your VPN. That's awesome. Carolyn says, David the Good, God had a plan to have them be on your channel tonight. Yeah, this was completely unexpected. Yeah. And when I found out they were going to be in the area because they got stuck and they got stuck and they couldn't travel through Texas because of all the ice storms and everything, he said, hey, come to my house. So the other day, Connie was here first with my sister, and then now Kevan and his wife and some friends have also come along, and they caught up with him over here. So it was like, hey, let's do a live stream. And I'm really glad the live stream is working because I was going to do it an hour earlier, and it was a big fight to get it working. Natasha says, come on, Dave. Cash App, Zelle, anything beyond PayPal? Is there anything beyond PayPal on the site? I don't know. Bitcoin,
yeah,
Dogecoin.
Don't we have
GameStop shares?
What's the one through Squarespace?
Stripe
and PayPal.
Is that on the We Carry Kevan site?
Pay.
Apple Pay?
Yeah.
Wow.
Apple
I
Pay.
didn't even know that.
PayPal.
Gold bullion. Is there a PO box? Yeah.
All of that is on the website.
It's on the website, so wecarrykevan.com, so which is underneath.
And you can do a just a general donation, or you can actually sponsor
Do you have one?
A backpack.
Huh?
And it's sponsoring the backpack. This is all on the
There you
website, but sponsoring a backpack is $450, which would cover the cost of the pack and the shipping, so we can get it to a family completely free.
Yeah, we have a lot of
Okay,
families
cool.
that like apply for backpack donations.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big.
And we've
thing.
got
Yeah.
so far
We're halfway
we have
there.
been given $219.98 just in the super chats. So what is it up to? The Z word. I'm not going to say it. You're trying to get me to say it.
You said it earlier.
It is cucurbita pepo.
Wow.
It is a variety of cucurbita pepo that is harvested when it is not fully mature and before it hardens up, and it is dark green and it tastes like garbage. So golly, you people.
Dude,
This is not a free speech channel, Scott. We don't do free speech here. We have blasphemy laws.
Is it okay if every time you refer to the Z word and all the environs around it, I just imagine zebra, and everything you say applying to the animal, zebra?
Yes. Cucurbita pepo variety variegata. I think that would be zebra.
Yeah, there you go. Zebra.
Yeah, there's a link below the video, Natasha, if you look at it. It's a Z Sanctuary channel. You could talk about it on your channel. It's $450 for a single yam pack. That's right.
Yeah.
The backpacks cost, they're heavily engineered, and of course this is a specific, it's a very specific application. So it's not like the problem with something like this is it's not a mass market thing. It's not like everybody needs it. We're talking, it's like anything you're dealing with medical or dealing with a wheelchair or something like that. I mean, what's a modern good wheelchair cost?
25,000.
25,000.
Yeah.
$25,000. What did it cost to modify a minivan like the one you have that does the ramp and everything?
Oh, I don't know. Dan? 10,000?
10 to 20,000 to modify a vehicle to so the wheelchair so the wheelchair safely locks into it.
Yeah.
So just for you to drive over to my house and roll out and come in the front door is $35,000 or more dollars. So that's rough. That is rough. Oh my gosh. But yeah, it's a specialty thing, and we don't think about the small percentage. We think of these are normal people, and this is like their cousin had some sort of an issue or something. But you don't really think about like there's one in 1,000, 1 in 10,000. I mean, the percentages for say something like cerebral palsy or muscular dystrophy, we consider that that's kind of an off chance sort of a thing. So if it's not like everybody likes to go buy Tostitos, you know. This funded by Tostitos. Thank you for watching this stream. But you know, it's like it's not a mass market thing. It's like this one when you're only building for a small percentage of the population, the prices are difficult. But we are almost we're over half a backpack now. So the backpack, including the shipping and the production and everything, is $450 each. So no, I had no idea a wheelchair cost that much. That's insane. But it is what it is. But this is a cool wheel. These are cool wheelchairs. They like go up and down and stuff for picking apples.
Picking apples. Sole purpose.
So what do you think, Jonathan? Thank you very much. Says Holy Ghost, keep doing the Lord's work, y'all.
Thanks.
That's cool.
I would like to ask you 2 questions to get your people rumbling about you, if that's okay.
Okay.
Okay, so one is, when do we get a sequel to Turned Earth?
Oh, good question. The sequel to Turned Earth is now in the hands of the layout guy who is putting in all the illustrations.
Great.
So
it's
just a
happening.
matter of he's in the middle of a move, and he's actually also in Texas, so he's probably not working on it right now.
Yeah.
But yes, I mean, ideally it could be out in a couple of weeks, but probably realistically it'll be a month or 2. Because my part's done. I'm just waiting on it.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the other question?
Awesome. When you come to my house and plant things in the ground, will you do videos?
Yeah, absolutely.
Great.
As a matter of fact, we could do the grocery row garden system and install one at your place.
Okay.
So you could actually roll through and pick everything on, like we could make the pads.
Yeah, that's what I was
stuff.
thinking.
Yeah.
Paths, gardens. Well,
That'd be awesome.
You got half an acre to go wild with.
We could do a ton on a half an acre.
Yeah.
And that's up Indiana. And Indiana would be ideal for apples and pears, and it would be a different set of plants. It'd be really fun.
Yeah. Cool.
So.
And I do know the people before us tried to plant some trees and they did not survive. So I'd love for you to figure out why and make sure that doesn't happen.
You have to play music for them.
Oh.
Which is easy for you, so.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should we?
They prefer bassoon.
I don't have a bassoon. So close.
Yeah.
I have a trumpet.
Trumpet. We have a trumpet player here tonight, actually.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna wrap it up unless anybody has any more questions. Oh, thank you very much. Bonnie Blue's Second Amendment sends another $99.99. So we are almost to hitting the price of one backpack sponsorship. So thank you very much. That was very generous of you.
That's awesome. Thank you. Wow.
It'll give me an updated total in a minute here, that's incredible. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Carolyn says, I wonder if some insurance companies would help cover the cost of those backpacks. That is something to look into.
Yeah, we considered it early on, but that would mean that the price would skyrocket, and then there would be paperwork, and it just gets to be a mess.
So you're kind of dealing with the medical cartel type system. So
Right.
suddenly a backpack costs $10,000.
Right. So,
And the average person can't get one.
Right. So we would rather.
You're gonna keep it down.
Yeah. So,
And for the people that are overseas or really, I mean, a lot of people that probably have children that have special needs are already tapped out because it's incredibly expensive.
Yeah, and the shipping and everything. But really, a normal child carrier, like a baby carrier, toddler carrier, however many ways you want to say that, is like $350 already, $375, and so this, with shipping included, is It's not bad. So I think we actually sell it for $3.75, and then the donation is higher to cover shipping.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. So we're actually right in there with all the child carriers.
With
So,
the high-end child carriers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like not the tie a rope around a kid and kind of.
Right. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Exactly. So.
Scott says we need a theremin.
Ooh, I was talking about theremins today.
That would be awesome.
Some of them like that.
I love that.
Yeah.
Especially because you can run it through like a guitar effects pedal and just get this, like, fill the entire room with noise.
Yeah.
It's been on my list for a long time, but I haven't been able to justify
You
it.
could build one. Have your kids build one.
Kids probably could build one.
Yeah.
I'll get them to do it.
They chop down a tree and build it from the wood.
Bonnie Blue's Second Amendment says, one more song!
Okay.
That's not a bad idea. I have I think I have a book of hymns. Maybe I can find one in the right key.
I can change keys. You just let me know.
I'll find something I can actually play too.
I think we're close. Someone just gave another big donation. I can't see who it is, but thank you.
I'll look in a sec. What do I have? Where is my book?
Oh, oh, Dario.
Oh.
So go ahead and
Pretty
hold
good.
Love
on.
from
Go to my card
Emily.
again.
Oh, Emily. Oh,
Aw.
Emily,
Thanks.
so sweet.
Awesome.
She's one of our biggest fans.
And we are hers.
I want to see if I can find all the lyrics for What a Friend We Have in Jesus, which I love to play, but I don't always have the. Oh, that's from my niece.
Yeah.
Love from Emily. I am Elliot says fantastic project, sends a $50 super chat. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we are over 400 now.
Woohoo!
Colm sends a super chat, $14.90. Thank you so much, Colm, and thank you very much, Emily, and thank you so much. I am Elliot.
Awesome.
That is so cool.
Thank you,
Almost
guys.
here, almost here. Somebody, I'm going to go back a little bit. Okay, Drew, this is not the time to talk about your GoFundMe for the Food Forest. Catch it on another stream. Wrong venue. Rebellion Point Farm says, I have special needs, son, my sunshine. Thank you all so much. That is so cool.
That's awesome.
Grace Family Homestead said, I said the Z word for educational purposes. Yeah, right in the edge. The boundary. Oh my gosh.
A lot of people do a lot of things for educational purposes.
It's educational. Hey, we got it. Oh, you're
Sweet.
awesome. And now, I don't know, you probably can't see it from there, Connie. You want to sing it too? Or you gonna...
Sure, yeah.
We'll
Just move
pretend.
your mug. I can see it.
Okay, I'll
She
put it
has-
right here.
She has
I'm wearing my
excellent
glasses,
vision
so.
You're,
with her
you're,
glasses.
and now I can see if I can remember the chords. I think I do remember the chords. Do you know it in C? Do you know this song?
Wait, grab a guitar. Jump on in.
I'll let you play mine. You want to jump in behind us?
Yes.
Connie and I could sing it, and you could throw in.
Do you want to grab a bass?
Truly could even
Oh.
trumpet it.
Yes.
You want to throw in the trumpet? Woo! All right, we're gonna get a trumpet too.
Oh,
That's really gonna blow the
yay!
speakers out.
My wife is really good at clapping.
Yay, clapping.
You want to sing too, Crick? You want to sing with the yam? Bring the yam.
Bring the yam.
Katie.
All right, Mrs. Chandler, you gonna jump in?
Katie, come over here.
Peter, you want to jump in?
Come on, Dad.
Cool.
No, we're good.
He's in C.
See? You good?
What? There we are. All right, so who do we have? So this is Mrs. Chandler here.
Hi.
Oh, yeah, be Mrs. Chandler.
And this is Mr. Peter Chandler, who is
Senior.
senior. Connie and Kevin's dad, who is a wonderful guy, and I grew up with him as one of the folks I looked up to in church, and then my dad was best friends with him, so we would always visit on vacation.
And Dad's the brains behind the backpack, so people who have questions about how to adjust the backpack or get the best fit, he's on hand to help them with that.
He's the engineer.
Yeah.
And then we have Luke here on the guitar.
He's our worship leader back home.
Worship leader from back home. And then Julie is coming in. Come in, say hi, Julie. Hi. Can we see you?
It's delayed,
Oh, we can't see you.
It's
yes,
okay.
there you are. All right, so we're gonna see if we can do this. All right, you ready? You want to start us off, Luke? What a friend we have in Jesus, all our sins and griefs to bear. What a privilege to carry everything to God in prayer. Oh, what peace we often forfeit. Oh, what needless pain we bear. All because we do not carry everything to God in prayer. Take a ride. Every trials and temptations, is there trouble anywhere? We should never be discouraged. Take it to the Lord in prayer. We find a friend so faithful, who will all our sorrows share. Jesus knows our every weakness. Take it to the Lord in prayer. What a friend we have in Jesus, all our sins and griefs to bear. What a privilege to carry everything to God in prayer. All right.
Yeah.
And I didn't get to bust out the cowbell, but I feel like I needed it. Maybe a little. Thank you so much, Luke. All right, guys, we are going to call this one. Thank you all for the donations. It looks like we have hit the price. We are up to $439.96, and it costs $450 to sponsor a backpack. So we pretty much made it, even if we didn't make it. Oh, there we go. We made it. We're over. Okay, that's awesome. And Con Martin kicks in with a $49.99 donation right at the end there. So it's so cool.
That is
That's awesome.
I know we didn't have great microphones tonight and everything, so pardon our technical issues, but
Is Com Martin the family Kevin saw today?
is it?
I think it is. It might be. If you are, shout out, because
Awesome.
that's pretty cool.
Awesome. So, you guys have a great night. Thank you all for the donations. And of course, there's a link below if you want to see what else they're doing. It is an amazing thing, and it is changing people's lives. And I used to work with nonprofits and things, and I got frustrated with the entire world of nonprofits and with how donations get all over the place and these big messy things. But this is just a family getting these backpacks into the hands of other families that need them. So this is one that I'm very glad to give to, and I do give to. So thank you all for making. There's going to be one kid that's very happy that you have sponsored a backpack for. So that's the way it works.
Yeah.
And of course, there's a link below so you can check it out. And I'll get back to the gardening streams. I've got more gardening videos coming very soon here. But yes, Kevan says, "Hey guys, it's us." Oh, God bless you. God says, "It was wonderful meeting you. Thank you for all you do." Oh, that is so cool.
So cool. So cool.
Kevan got to play in the mud with their daughter today, so that's fun.
We did wheelies and splash.
So this was the girl you were talking about who was flying through the mud, and you were like, my wheelchair wouldn't do that.
Yeah. My old one maybe, but yeah. But she would yell out water speed, which is now my new favorite thing.
And hit the puddle.
Yeah, I like that.
And it's like 40 degrees out.
Just fearless.
Yeah, she just went for it. She was awesome. Yeah.
Oh, that is so cool.
Yeah.
Well, great. Well, God bless you all. Have a good night. Thank you all to all the donations. Thank you to the members of this channel for showing up. And
you guys are awesome.
Thanks for having us,
Well,
Dave. Yeah, it was fun.
No, dude, it was fun. I mean, this is a gardening channel, but I was like, hey, you guys are here. Let's do it.
Yeah,
and I knew my
gardening, so
we did it, and I knew my people would come through for you. You guys are a wonderful group, and I really appreciate you. Thank you for hanging out and sticking around, and for the donations and everything. It's amazing.
We'll do it again.
So, yeah, we'll catch you all soon, and God bless. Until next time, may your thumbs always be green.
Cool.
Yeah. It's fun, huh?
That was cool.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Oh, there's